Inclusion. In today's world, that word comes with some preconceived notions. Men are often considered the majority, and other populations need conscious inclusion. When it comes to mental health, men are the ones needing some extra attention. Our Emily Davey joins us now on the final day of this Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Emily, you've done some digging and found some sobering statistics.
Yeah, 4 out of every 5 suicides, according to CDC data, show that it is men across the country that have died. There are numerous studies that find that men use different vices more often than women to address mental health distress, like higher substance use. While mental illness is diagnosed in women more, they're also more likely to seek help and treatment than men. I spoke with 2 guys taking different approaches to help address these challenges.
Is that something you ultimately want to do as a career?
In his 16 years of life,
aviation school and then commercial pilot for like Delta.
Gavin Merriam has been allowed to dream big.
It's either that or if that fails, I would like to be a psychiatrist.
He's a high achiever.
I was a couple of years ahead in English and like a year or 2 ahead in math, and I wanted to go to Harvard so bad. I was like writing an application for Harvard in like 5th grade.
But all that pressure to succeed can be really stressful. In 5th grade, as captain of his book bowl team, he was in charge of keeping the list of books and authors. He lost the list.
When the middle school paraprofessionals came and she was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I was at that point visibly shaking and starting my anxiety attack, which at the point I had no clue what that was.
He's been supported to open up about his feelings, but he sees so many of his guy friends struggling to do the same.
They just feel like they'll be judged more heavily than if like a woman came out and said that they were struggling.
It's his experience at age 10 that has him taking on the work of normalizing mental health conversations through the club Raise Your Voice.
As a kid, I really wanted some more education, so I knew what was going to happen when I grew up and going through puberty and all the changes that would come with mental health.
He's not alone.
For some reason, during the middle of that lunch, I had what I now know as a panic attack.
Joe Conrad owns several digital health companies, including his online mental health resource, Man Therapy.
According to science, 10 out of 10 men have feelings. But some men find it hard to talk about those feelings.
The hardest working therapist in the world, the fictional Dr. Rich Mahogany.
Men have a way of doing things.
We really wanted to appeal to men and talk to guys the way they talk to one another. And so that brought in the use of humor and really straight talk and kind of giving each other a hard time in a good-natured way.
This public health campaign sprung out of concerning suicide and other mental health data. The site features several free clinician-led educational articles, do-it-yourself resources.
Breathing exercises are a subtle yet manly way to combat stress and anger. Watch as I demonstrate.
And connection points if more help is needed.
We had 3 simple goals. One was to break through the stigma around men's mental health and change the dialogue. The second one was to improve help-seeking behavior. And then third is to reduce suicidal ideation. 2
CDC-funded studies found Man Therapy addresses those goals. Conrad's company partners with governments and nonprofits to help spread the resources and message, including Adams and Taylor counties, where you may find posters and coasters that, as Conrad puts it, celebrate manhood.
Part of that is being open and honest and taking charge of any issue you may be dealing with.
Because when you're building your coping skills and taking care of your mental health, you're able to show the next generation of men how to do so too.
You gave them like a gift of life and you want them to keep that gift.
Now, the campaign was introduced in the fall in Taylor County, and the numbers of page views, they're not a lot in quantity, but we have, rural communities. But it is leading people to go to the site and access the resources and take what they call the head inspection, which is mental health self-assessment.
So you had shared the Man Therapy videos with me,
Yeah.
and they almost look comical, like a satire. And I thought, is this real? But it really is real, right? With their real message.
Yes, fake therapist, but real message. They were doing a lot of research to try to figure out what's going to reach men, and this spans across different types of guys, and they wanted to bring in like the Ron Burgundy, Ron Swanson, Ernest Hemingway kind of character to kind of appeal to that and just get people with humor and try to break that down.
All right, Emily Davies, thank you very much. Definitely a topic that needs to be talked about a little bit more. A sister product to Man Therapy is You at College. It's a way for college students to access mental health resources and knowledge. The UW system signed on to the services in 2022. Data shows people spend about a dozen minutes on the platform. 78% of students last year say they learned a new tip or skill using this platform. Most of those students say they put those skills into practice. Now, we want to remind you, if you are struggling with your own mental health, there are resources out there and available. You can call the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. You can also start a conversation by texting HELLO to 741-741.